Okay. So in this particular setup, we have two laptops. The laptop on the left hand side is basically a client, and the laptop on the right hand side is to show the display for our controller results. So the laptop on the left hand side, which is the client, is right now associated to an access point in our system, and we are going to try and stream video from this particular access point. And as you can see, the client actually has two windows. The top window is where you're going to see this video in real time, and the bottom window is basically a plot that is going to show you the amount of throughput experienced by the client in real time. Now, on the right hand side laptop, again we have two plots. The first one on the top is basically the output of the system, which is going to tell us the amount of interference experienced by this client from a particular interferer. And right now, as you can see, the amount of interference experienced by the client is 0 by this interferer. And on the bottom graph, we are going to show you the actual amount of throughput of the interferer. That is the amount of traffic that is sent out by the interferer. Now, concentrate on the laptop on the left hand side, where we are going to start streaming a video now. And once we start playing a video, as you can see, the graph on the bottom side is going to show you the amount of throughput, which is almost around 5 Mbps at this point of time, which is the bitrate of the video itself. This is basically because there's not much of interference the client is experiencing. Therefore, it's getting the full throughput of the video, which is 5 Mbps. And as you can see, the video is also smooth. What we're going to do is we're going to switch on an interferer, and you're going to see the amount of traffic sent out by the interferer on the graph on the bottom right hand side. At the same time, you can see the output of the actual amount of interference experienced by the client graph on the top right. So now I'm going to switch on the interferer, and as you can see, as I have switched on the interferer, the amount of traffic sent by the interferer has increased, and our system is also saying that there is an increased amount of interference experienced by the client, which is almost around 0.8 on a scale of 0 to 1. And as you can see, the video has completely stopped. It has stalled because of the amount of interference that the client is experiencing. And now, if I were to switch off the interferer again, we should see that the amount of traffic sent out by the interferer will reduce, and the client should also be able to stream the video. So right now, the amount of interference experienced by the client is high, and therefore the throughput is almost negligible. Now I'm going to switch off the interferer, which is reflected by the graph on the right hand side bottom, where the amount of traffic has gone down to 0. And as you can see on the left hand side, the client has started streaming the video again, and it is almost experiencing instant throughput of 5 Mbps. So in this particular example, as you can see, our system was able to say that there was an interferer which caused a high amount of interference, which is around 0.8 as reflected in the plot on the top right hand side. Now, now that I know that this interferer is causing trouble, I can change the power level of this particular interferer so as to reduce the amount of interference. So now I'm going to change the power level of the interferer, and I'm going to restart the interferer again. So right now the client has started streaming the video again, and it's experiencing full throughput. That's because the interferer is currently switched off. Now I'm going to switch off the interferer, which has a reduced power level, and as you can see on the bottom right hand side, the amount of traffic sent by the interferer has gone up, whereas the amount of interference has almost gone down to 0, as shown by the LIR plot on the top right hand side. And that's actually true, because once you look at the client, you can see that even though this particular interferer is now switched on, it's not causing any interference, as it is able to experience full throughput, and the video continues to be smooth. And that is basically because the interferer is now running with a reduced power level.